Hello, very good morning, guys. And today is it's 8th February, and now our session is to read the Hindu newspaper. So, in the this session, I have an article from the Hindu editorial, and which is about the UK's PM, United Kingdom's PM Boris Johnson, and Boris Johnson is now in trouble because of few controversies happened in his PM house. So in this article, we will read about it. So here you can say here is a party gate. So party gate means like you will see that the gate mostly whenever a scam or something scandal happens, so we use the gate word. Maybe you have seen this type of word so many times. So the party gate means there was an incident happened in the Britain which was about to party, and while the lockdown was over the world and over the UK, and all people were following the guidelines, but in his office his friends, his ministers were doing a party. So let's start reading. When the music stopped, so despite the however, so despite the UK's success in vaccination, however, because of the Boris Johnson, UK got the success in vaccination and in his leadership. But Boris Johnson's leadership is under scrutiny. But because of this Partygate incident, his leadership is now under scrutiny. Like people are questioning on him, and lots of MPs are asking to resign for him. So, however, he did very good in vaccination, but because of this incident, his leadership have a very lots of questions. So, in the wake of intensifying, so now as the situation is become very intense, the situation is become very critical after this type of scandal, this type of incident has came into news in the UK. Five close eyes. So the five close, five prime ministers. Five close aides of Prime Minister Boris Johnson have resigned. So recently, five close persons of Prime Minister who were appointed in the UK government or the different offices. So they had to resign because they were also included in those party gate, and now it is putting the Conservative Party and its leadership in a tight spot over their handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and their adherence to the associated restriction on public gathering. So here the Conservative Party, which is the Boris Johnson's party, and now Boris Johnson is the UK's Prime Minister, and who is also come from the Conservative Party and its leader. But at the COVID pandemic time, there were lots of tightening, lots of restriction over the people, and however, in his leadership, UK control the COVID, and but there were lots of restriction over the public gathering also. So the common people and other people were following these restriction, but at the same time a party is happening in his office, so that's why all of the peoples are questioning the Conservative Party and its leadership. The five senior members of Mr. Johnson's office, so those five senior members who was related to Mr. Johnson's office, including Chief of Staff Dan Rosenfield, quit last week. So he has in those one is very important person that who is Chief of Staff Dan Rosenfield also quitted following an incrementing inquiry into multiple social gatherings that took place at number 10 Downing Street during the early days of the pandemic, when tight lockdown regulation had been imposed across the UK, limiting all such party. So the 10 Downing Street, which is the residential place of UK's PM. Like India, it's 7 RCR, 7 Racecourse Road of Indian Prime Minister. The same way, the 10 Downing Street, the UK's United Kingdom as a Prime Minister's home. It's a govern of the this home is provided by the government to him, and now so what is happening there? as I have earlier already told you that when the tight lockdown was regulation and imposed, and these type of parties gathering were restricted, were limited, and restriction was imposed over all of these things to do. But at the same time, there were multiple social gathering happening at his at 10 Downing Street, and all these persons were included in them, and that's why his close aides, his office, 5 members of his office resigned because those were doing party. However, Boris Johnson was not involved in this party. The scandal gained momentum after UK media published a report including photographs of senior members of Mr. Johnson's team attending several parties held around June 2020, a time when gatherings of more than 2 people indoors were banned. So, how this incident came to know when UK's media has published reports in the, and also including the photographs of from his office, so where senior members of Mr. Johnson's team were doing a party, and this incident is about 1.5 year ago, from the June 2020. And at that time, very highly social lockdown was imposed over the people, and the people were not allowed to do gathering and parties, and even it was banned inside indoors also. Following the expected outrage in Parliament and the initiation of police activity last week, a report by Sue Gray, second permanent secretary, was published. So now there is very outrage in parliament, like opposition parties and few members of his conservative party also asking him what was the reason, and here's lots of question has been raised on him. And then now police investigation has also started, and there is a CU grade who was appointed to do a initial investigation, from who's she is a second permanent secretary, has also published her report last week also. So her report found that 16 events took place between May 2020 and April 21, including a drink event in the Downing Street Garden attended by Mr. Johnson on May 2020, and a birthday celebration for Mr. Johnson in the Cabinet Room on June 19, 2020. So she has said that between the period of 6 to 7 months, overall 16 events took place there, and in those places there was also a drink, including a drink event in those also, and Mr. Johnson was also attending those events, and also a birthday celebration for Mr. Johnson. So from this report it just found that overall 16 events had been take place, and uh, and the report was published by CU Gray. So it may be an important question if because now it is very a big issue in Britain, and might be Mr. Johnson might be would have to replace and would have to leave his chair also, his position also. The scandal has rocked the confidence of conservative MPs in the Prime Minister's capacity to lead, and now because of this conservative party's MP now do have confidence in Prime Minister capacity, that he can lead his party, he can lead the country. And now the parties, even though Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries insisted that a vast majority of them still support Mr. Johnson, some such as Stephen Hammond have said that they are considering very carefully whether he still has confidence in the PM, especially because telling the truth matters are nowhere more so than in the House of Commons. So House of the Commons are like Lok Sabha in our country, so that the same is there. And now his own party's lots of members don't have faith in him, don't have confidence in him. But cultural security, she also, Nadine Dorries, she also said that most of, but vast majority still support Mr. Johnson. and but a few other people like Stephen Hammond, they said that now we are looking overall condition very carefully, and whether he still, however, still has in the PM, because telling the truth matters, and no waiver, more